Love Jimmy Butler, didn't love him taking the shot there. Charles Barkley, Hall of Famer, joining us. Got any problem with Butler taking that three when he did?
No, sir.
Okay.
I mean, he's the only reason they were alive in that series. And it's a wide open three. So I had no problem with, hey, Jimmy Butler, he proved to me, man, now he's a stud, man. What he did in Game 6 and tried to do in Game 7, got nothing but love and respect for Jimmy effing Butler, as I call him.
Well, there's certain guys that might be better players, but in those moments, those guys, I mean, Jimmy Butler wanted the big moment. And I love the guy who wants to take that shot. But I think that Al Horford left him open because Al wanted him to take the shot or was okay with him taking that shot.
Well, I don't know if Al could have got out there anyway. I mean, 'cause it was kind of a semi-fast break. But like I say, I had no problem with Jimmy taking the shot. And if he makes the shot, we'd be having a different argument. We'd be saying, damn, Jimmy Butler, we need to move him up on the line. But, man, he's just tough, man. I'm not even going to worry about Game 7 because he had zero help. But what he did in Game 6, to me, that was just impressive.
Who do you like in the finals?
I like the Celtics in 6. I think they're going to be too big for the Warriors. That's just my personal opinion. I think their depth is probably going to wear them down. So I like the Celtics in 6.
But, okay, do you have problems with Golden State fans? Does that factor in your prediction here?
No, not at all. Dude, I didn't think the Mavericks could beat the Warriors. As I said, I just root for them because I hate the Warriors fans. You know, the thing that's interesting, they used to have great fans when they were over in Oakland. I've said before, I thought when they were in Oakland, they had one of the best fan bases in the NBA. And now they just got a bunch of jackasses over in San Francisco. But that never factors in. I like the Celtics to win the series. I just think they're going to be too big and their depth is going to win the series for them.
But why do they have a problem with you?
Oh, Dan, you know how fans are. They want you to say their best players the greatest and their team is the best. I mean, this is nothing new. That's all fans want. Tell me my favorite player is great and tell me my team is great. And if you don't do that, they're going to have a problem with you. I mean, that's nothing new.
But
that's like when I'm in Alabama, I think Garrett Danielson and Vern Lundquist do an amazing job. And I'll be sitting around with my friends who go to Alabama and Auburn. They're like, Garrett Danielson and Vern, they hate us. I'm like, you guys are the biggest fools in the world. Dad, I will tell you, I never care who's going to win a basketball game. I never care. You know what I want? It's vacation. It's where I am right now. Hey, get it over with. Hey, I don't have to watch another basketball game until October. The only thing I'm watching right now is the Stanley Cup playoffs because, man, let me tell you something. Me and one of my friends went out and watched Game 7 last night. That was a Ranger beatdown. But if you're not paying attention to the Lightning trying to three-peat or in the West, if you're not with Draisaitl and McDavid against McCarr and Nathan McKinnon, if you're not excited about that Colorado-Edmonton series, if you would say, first of all, if you love hockey, you can't get a better 4 stories. But, man, I cannot wait for that Western Conference showdown. It's going to be awesome to watch all those young kids going at each other. It's going to be awesome.
When did you get into hockey?
Oh, back in my Flyers days with my boy Rick Tocchet, who's on TNT now. My favorite hockey player all the time is Ron Hextall. Eric Lindros. I knew all of those guys. And I've been a Flyer fan ever since. And that's the last time we had a good team, I might add.
Did you agree with James Worthy, his assessment of NBA players now that they lift weight, get tattoos, and shoot threes?
Well, he's right on the 3 part. The only thing that concerns me, I wonder if these guys want to be great players. I think they want the money and they want all the stuff that goes with it. My question is, and I've said this publicly, not just agreeing with James, I'm not sure if they want to be great players. I mean, they want the money and the fame and all that stuff. Hey, we all do. But I think the money has gotten so astronomical now, I wonder how many of these guys really want to be a great, great player. And I'm not saying that being the old guy. I mean, I'm watching. I'm like, man, this guy should be great. this guy should be great. But I don't know if he got it all. There's no reason for him to try to reach his potential.
The Lakers hiring Darvin Ham. Thoughts on that?
Well, I'm glad Darvin got an opportunity because he's paid his dues. He's a nice guy. We'll have to see what kind of coach he is. But listen, if one of your coaches is close to the same age as your players, your team not going to be any good anyway. I mean, the Lakers, they got a serious dilemma on their hands. I mean, their best player is going to be 40. You know, Anthony Davis has never been healthy. And, you know, obviously Russ is going to be there one more year. So what's really bad about the situation, next year is going to be the same as this year. And then LeBron's just going to be a year older, and then they'll have Russ off the books. And then they'll be like, but LeBron's going to be a year older. And Anthony, you know, I said last year coming to the season, I'm not worried about LeBron or anybody else. If the Lakers are going to be any good, it's going to have to be Anthony Davis. I mean, I said if he's one of the top 5 players in the NBA, the Lakers can compete. Because you can't be asking a 38-year-old guy to be your best player. That just makes it. Same thing here in Phoenix. I'm like, it's time for Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton to step up. You can't ask 38-year-old Chris Paul to be your best player, especially, you think about it, Dan. He took them all the way to the finals last year. He came back and had the best record in the NBA all year. He gets them to the second round of the playoffs. That's a lot to ask of a 37, 38-year-old guy, especially a guy like Chris who's miniature. He's a little guy. But it's time for DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker to step up and be better than all-stars.
Talking to Charles Barkley, Hall of Famer. Yeah, I was back to the Lakers with Westbrook. I don't know what you can do with him, but I think it's going to be really hard for a rookie head coach to come in and all of a sudden figure out how to incorporate Russell Westbrook into the offense or utilize his talents. I just think that's impossible.
Well, because Russ is stubborn. I've always admired Russ because he's the hardest working player that I've ever seen in the NBA. But he's still trying to play the way he did 5 years ago, and he can't do that. You know, as a player, as you get older, you have to kind of like, okay, I got to work on my strengths. And try to limit my weaknesses. But if you watch the Lakers play, which I've seen them play, unfortunately, they be stuffing them down our throat on ESPN and TNT. Like, he trying to play the way he did 10 years ago, and it's not going to work. He has to make sacrifices. He has to learn to play without the ball. He has to really work on his shooting. And I don't know, part of his greatness is his stubbornness. And I don't know if at this stage of his career he can change.
Well, he can't shoot.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If I was Russ, I'd go get Reggie Miller, somebody like that who lives on the West Coast, and say, hey, you know, they got Kyle Korver. He's working with Ben Simmons. So I said, hey, Russ, call Reggie Miller. Let's get in the gym and just shoot. Because the problem he's going to have, Dan, if he doesn't play well this year, his NBA career might be over. Because who's going to sign him if he doesn't work on his game, or he's going to try to want to be treated like he was when he was MVP like 6-7 years ago. So this is a big year for him.
Robert Ory is on next hour. We asked the question, whose career would you want? Basketball career. Robert Ory's or yours?
You know, I like my career. I know I didn't win a championship, and I like being myself. I always laugh when I'm not sure how I got to the point where it became an individual thing instead of a team thing. Unfortunately, a couple of people on television started this probably, and it actually been for the detriment of the NBA because nobody told Michael Jordan after 4 or 5 years, you got to get out of here. You're not going to win a championship. So things started getting crazy with LeBron. And he started listening to all the rumors about, man, you got to win to be successful. And then he went to Miami. And then it happened next with KD. So it started somewhere back then. But, hey, man, I'm pretty happy with my life. I wish I could have won a championship for these people here in Phoenix. But I I'm good with my success in my career.
What's your favorite nickname?
Well, at this stage of my life, I'm either I'm either Sir Charles or the round mound, the rebound. But it doesn't matter to me. It's like when people ask me, somewhere along the way, my name went from being Charles to Chuck. And people ask me, what do you call me? Man, I don't care. I don't care. You call me Chuck, you call me Charles. It doesn't even matter to me.
But you embraced it in college, didn't you? But didn't
Well, I embraced it. Well, what happened was that my great coach, my father figure, Sonny Smith, came to me one time. Because, Dan, when I went to Auburn, we were nothing in basketball. We had never made to March Madness. We hadn't. When I signed with Auburn, they had lost 12 games in a row. I mean, I said, "Oh, these guys some bums. I should come to college here." So after I had a good freshman year, people started taking notice, and Sports Illustrated wanted to do a story on me. And coach said, "Hey, we need to drum up support for the program." And I says, "We need to drum up some players too while we get support." So that's actually how the whole thing started. And it really worked. We got Chuck Person, we got Wesley Person, we got Frank Ford, Gerald White. We started getting really, I always tell people, man, Auburn had never had a McDonald's All-American. We had guys who ate at McDonald's. And we signed a guy out of Kissimmee, Florida, named Frank Ford. He was the first really, like Mr. Florida, great McDonald's All-American player. But other than that, I was the 5th-ranked player in Alabama when I came out. We had never had a top 5 guy in Alabama in just our state. Not talking about around the country. In the state of Alabama, we'd never gotten a top 5 recruit. And now, and I tell people, one of my greatest accomplishments was getting Auburn to the big dance. Because my first 2 years, we were below 500. My second year, we were right at 500. My third year, we got to the tournament. And I'm really proud. And then I left after that. But now, hey, we got Bruce Pearl, who's arguably one of the best coaches in college, and we're a perennial contender now. And I'm happy with that.
What would you do if you're the Pelicans with Zion with a contract extension?
Ooh, man, that's a really tricky one, Dan. To give him $200 million, that to me, listen, that's the job you get paid to do. And would I give it to him? No, I would not, because he's never been healthy. And I'm not even talking about the NBA. I'm talking about high school, college, NBA. He's never been healthy, and he hasn't proven to me that he can control his weight. Listen, Don. I'm not comparing myself to him, but it's the exact same situation. Dan, when I first got to the NBA, I weighed 300 pounds. And I asked Moses Malone, who's like a dad to me, I said, why am I not getting to play? He said, you're fat and you're lazy. And he said, Charles, you can't play at this weight in the NBA. You can get away with it in college, but you can't play. He said, let's lose 10 pounds. And then he took me to 290, 280, 270, 260, 250. I didn't think I could lose 50 pounds, but I did. But I wonder who in that Pelican organization would tell Zion, man, you got to get in shape. Because if you're always hurt, they tell me you're not getting in shape. And the thing we got today, we got these players, they got so much power. Like if he said, well, screw y'all, I don't have to get in shape. Somebody else will give me some money somewhere else. Instead of looking like, no, man, I need to get in shape. So he has not proven to me he can stay healthy. And the problem is if he leaves and turns into the player we think he can be, you're going to get fired, and rightfully so. But you have to make that decision. To what it comes down to me, is who's in that building every day? What kind of kid do you think he is? You think he going to get in shape, or you think he going to take that money and just live happily ever after? And the only person can make that decision is somebody who's in that building every single day, because we know how guys are. Players know how guys are. There's guys who I play with, I said, I wouldn't give him a damn dime because once he get paid, he gonna quit. And I've been around players like that before. That's one of the reasons we started shorting NBA contracts, because guys will have one great year when they became a free agent, and then they pack it in until the next time they were a free agent. So the NBA started shortening contracts. That's how this whole thing started about players. Once they get that money, you never know how they're going to react.
But you were talking about if you're Russell Westbrook, reach out to Reggie Miller to help you with shooting. Shouldn't Zion reach out to you, somebody of similar size who, similar career or career that you want, you would aspire to?
Yeah, if he did, I'd tell him, yo, man, first of all, they're going to give you, Dan, the most money I ever made was like $5 million. Not poo-pooing on $5 million. I've been blessed. I don't care about money. But if somebody told me they would get ready to give me $200 million, hey, I would be the skinniest power forward in the history of civilization. And the thing that's scary about it, Dan, he's going to get another $200 million in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
He should have hired, his parents should have said, yo, man, we're getting you a chef. We're getting you a chef. And you make a deal with the trainer and the workout people. Say, hey, I'm going to give y'all X amount of money to make sure I work out even when I'm tired. But the first thing he should have done last year was got a private chef because, man, everybody likes to eat. But when you have this type of money at stake, I mean, think about it, Dan. If he gets in shape, they're going to give him $200 million. He's going to be like 22 years old. He's going to make another 200, 250, 300 million when he's like 30 years old. And, hey, I never try to play God on television. Yo, man, take that money. You get your butt in shape and take that money.
Yeah, I just wonder if this resonates with younger athletes where they go, yeah, no, I get it. Or do they even get it? But you're saying from experience, you came in weighing 300 pounds. And look, you want to have longevity? You're going to make $500 million. All you have to do is do this. I just don't know if they're, and I can look at these players and say, all you got to do is be a better free throw shooter. Or, hey, work on your jump shot. And they don't. They make all this money.
Yeah, because, see, that's the problem. And listen, once they sign you, you don't have to get better as a player, but they got to pay you. And that goes back to my original point. You should not care about your family. You should not care about your friends. You shouldn't even care about the coach. You should want to be a great player for yourself. I always tell people, hey, we all want our families to be proud. We all want our coaches to be proud. But the most important thing as a player, you should want to be, especially if you got amazing talent. Like some guys, they can work as hard as they want to, and they can't play dead. You know that, Dan. You see it all the time. Like, that guy works hard. Yep, but he can't play. But when you see guys, I mean, I think we all in the NBA family want to see Zion in shape and see how great he can be. I mean, I think everybody wants to see that because the little blurbs that we've seen, you're like, oh, man. Oh, man, this dude has got a chance of being special. But unfortunately, you have to go by his track record. I mean, he got hurt. He's been hurt every single place. Yeah. And then like I say, is it a fair question? Yes, it's a fair question. If we give this dude $200 million, is he going to get in shape or he just going to just do his thing his own way?
Would you give a contract extension to Harden or Kyrie if you had to choose between the two?
Wow, man, wow, Dan. Probably Kyrie.
That's the longest you've gone without talking.
Both guys got to take a hard look in the mirror because it was not a good look this year for either one of them. It was not a very good look for either one of those guys this year. And the problem you got with James, you're going to start paying him money when he gets old if you sign him to a contract extension. The Kyrie, as crazy as he can be, he's probably one of the 5 greatest one-on-one basketball players I've seen. but man, he brings a lot of baggage. And the one thing you can't do in sports, you can't have a lot of baggage. It's hard enough to win. It's really hard to win. But when you have stuff going on, like teams, they really don't care too much about what the media is saying on television and radio. But if you have stuff going on in the locker room, it's going to end badly. I mean, I think that's what happened to my Phoenix Suns. You see all the stuff that was brewing under the table. It always comes up in the worst moments. Yeah. I mean, the whole DeAndre Ayton situation with his contract, that thing started in the preseason, and it's been bubbling underneath all season. And then in Game 7, he gets into it with the coach. So the one thing you can't have is dissension on a team because it shows its ugly head always. You can't never hide it. I mean, everybody say winning is a great deodorant. Yeah, but at some point you start smelling what you smell like. And that's what happened to my Suns. And all this stuff with Kyrie, man, it's not good for the Brooklyn Nets.
Whose shoe is that over your left shoulder?
Penny Hardaway.
Oh.
I got the second dream team, Karl Malone, Grant Hill, John Stockton, Gary Payton, me, Rich Richmond, Akeem. This is my first dream team flag, the one I stole in Barcelona. But this is the second team. There's Reggie Miller, Mitch Richmond, Grant Hill. I got a jersey and a pair of shoes. I'm in I call it a workout room. The only time I work out is when I'm walking to the bar in here, too. I got a great treadmill, elliptical, and everything over there. But the only time I work out over there is when I'm walking. I got a bar right here, which is the most important of the workout room.
Are you part of the match, the quarterback event tomorrow? Yes,
I am headed to the airport. As soon as I finish up with you guys, I got a plane there waiting. When Fritzy calls, I move around my schedule.
Ooh.
So he called me and he said, hey, can I do DP? I said, of course I can do DP, but I'm going to Vegas. So once I hang up with you, I'm going to pack up my golf clubs. I'm playing golf today and again in the morning. Dan, I want you so bad right now. I want you so bad right now.
I hear that a lot from men.
No, so yeah, I'm heading to Vegas to do the match.
And
I'm going with the young guys too. I think the young guys gonna do it.
And I hear your golf game is great, and I am happy for you because I saw it before it went to hell, and I'm glad that you're back.
Well, it's great to be black. It's great to be black. It's great to be black. Hey, shout out to my coach Stan Utley, man, who's made my life better by being in it. But man, it's sure good to go out and play golf and hit good golf shots again.
Yeah, I know. I'm happy for you. Hey, have fun, safe travels. Thanks for joining us.
Anytime, my brother. You guys be safe and keep up the awesome work.
That's Charles Barkley.